Shalom, Michael here, Prescott Wildflower Bread Company parking lot overlooking the mountains, my head and my eyes seeing the east. Street corner witnessing tour. I got rid of that one word and thankful for that. So anyway, too much has been happening spiritually. All as you well know, it's not a battle of flesh and blood. It's spiritual wickedness in heavenly places. So you have to take every thought captive, and you have to bring forth what is good and true. And the word true or truth cannot be a lie. So when you study like I do, and you click on words, thank goodness knowledge is right at the tip of your fingertips, through if your smartphone's working or your computer's working, or if you have the library, wherever that might be. Basically, the best one is probably at the Vatican basement, 5 Mile Tunnel. This is crazy. In Matthew, it says the tombs were open, the graves were open, and the word for graves is, and I just hope I just forgot. You need to look on it. And then the word for open is Enosh Zasan, like Enoch. Enosh Zasan, Enoch. And so that's the Greek word. My point being is the word for graves, if I could think of it, is only one time as a monument. All the other times are tombs or tomb. And so there should be, in my knowledge, there's a great deception upon man and mankind, Adamah, in those who lack knowledge in the biblical text that are listening to man. And so every time you go by, there's some plot of ground inside of a city, certain places that have a lot of monuments. I'm telling you, people, the word truly says that Festus in Acts, talking to Paul, that too much study of the Torah, the Bible, has driven you insane, Paul. Too much learning has driven you to insanity. And the word for insane is main. The word for insanity is man, M-A-N-I-E-N. Man-in, perhaps. So in my insanity, my man, I'm just like everybody else. I, want the worldly things. And nobody that I know of in my so-called walk of life upon this earth has ever taught me how to get gold out of the ground, has ever taught me basically the Hebrew language or the biblical text. Everybody was just a Jesus freak or totally worldly. The 60s and the 70s were all about love, peace, and rock and roll, right? And everything else that goes with it. I'm not going to say the words because I've come out of that. But it's just live life because life is short and, so enjoy. Well, you can't even do that anymore. I was raised in some wonderful times, and then all of a sudden, everybody, the world made me guilty of everything that I was taught and born and raised about. It was accepted by all, and then all of a sudden one day, well, it's not accepted at all. You got to be punished. So the Constitution, the Bible says we're made in the image. We have life, liberty, and a suit of joyfulness and basically living in the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. In the Bible, it says we're made in the image of Elohim. We have dominion over the air, the land, and the sea. So However we lost our way, my friends, I'm telling you, we have truly lost the way. So in this world, I had a very so-called wealthy family around me, and one of the family members, I tried to give some understanding of the Zeets in the Babylonian exile. They were like four corners to remind you to keep the commandments, the covenant of Yehovah Elohim, and walk in His righteousness. And Deuteronomy 22:12, I think, says that. I think it's that. They call it twisted cords on the four corners, and within that your Babylonian translation, while they were in Babylon, they view it or defy it, give a definition to it as onions on a string. And so from there, I went to Yeshua says those who believe in Him will have life eternal. And I went to the internal thing of life, I think, no, the eternal word, and it's AI onions. And that's the Greek, Roman Greek, English letters of the word of the pronunciation, AI onions. And it's just simply AI and then the word onions. And so I was bringing this to a person, and before that, Woodward TV, I should put the link in this video. Hopefully I can. Gives a, believe me, sometimes, those who gather information can still get underneath you can still see that the flesh is involved, in other words, that, buy and sell and go to this, my channel, or my, it's not even YouTube anymore. It's now he's advanced to where he can give you a deeper understanding without getting kicked off of YouTube. People, I realize that this internet is all over the world, but I also realize that, these laws and regulations are absolutely, when we have freedom of speech, whether it is all over the world or whether it is just the United States of America, intelligence should be able to tell that. And when you AI onions is part of the eternal life, and the onions on a cord in the Torah, the Tanakh, in the Babylonian takeover, is the reminder of how to keep Yehovah, who is Yeshua, his love within us, and His hand upon us, and His name written on our hearts and on our foreheads. We live in a day and a time where I told this to a person, and they were right away, what does this have to do with me? So it's really not about me. It's all about Him. But in this artificial intelligence, who is wanting to control the world, is the norm for a younger generation. It's just the way of life. They've accepted it. They have no care about the Bible, basically. They have no care about the Constitution of the United States. It's just go with the flow and give me a fine set of clothes and a big fat steak and plenty of food on the table, and all the cosmetics and the creams and the cures to look at me type thing, and money in the bank, I'll be just fine. And so they've accepted, this younger generation has accepted this AI onions eternal life of a robotic control of human creation. So within that, this might seem a little wacko to all of you, and words are very important, and I'm kind of like there right now, because where I'm at and where the rest of the world at, basically, and I'm telling you the truth, There's no connection. When I say there's no connection, I mean I absolutely have no connection hardly to this world whatsoever. There are very few people. There are people who listen and who gather, and the next thing you know, they're in the animal world saying that the bear in the woods, if it eats you, is okay. We're walking in their world. So now they become animalistic. They get this huge funding to protect animals and teach people not to eat meat or wear leather or whatever. And the Bible clearly says we have dominion over the animals. So we're at a point to where, like I said, I'm looking at you, looking at the camera, using AI to communicate with you no more. We no longer even know that driving at the table of the family is far and few from me, and I even get oozy now that I've purified my soul about everybody else is unclean around the table, and the animal having a meal with you too. As the woman said, even the dogs eat the crumbs from the master's table. So the Bible is that I'm gathering strength, and it's not me, but Yeshua within me, and I'm the failure. I know what I have to do, and I'm not doing it, but I will, and He has given the understanding of all reality about an inheritance. And the inheritance is that it was gifted to us from the foundations of the world. So not only is there gold in the ground, and we're supposed to bring it into the temple, I'm learning that. And not only is there all liars in the lake of fire and the false prophet, I'm learning that. And so they've stolen from the people material wealth in lies and falseness and so-called using magic or TV produced ministry healings in a name that never was created in the biblical times when Yeshua walked the earth. And you might say, Michael, this God that come lately, he truly has to be the one. Look at all the material wealth around it, everybody that uses that name. Look at how good, how fancy their clothes are, and their big, huge houses, and their jets. And all of their followers, their big, huge buildings, and mass parking lots full of brand new cars. This Johnny come lately has to be the one. And you're all going to find out one day that every idolatry word you ever spoke is going to catch up to you in one place. And I'm out here to say that, let me starve if you want. Let me, get beat on the head and hide in my van because drunkards don't like me no more. And help me, watch the nakedness of the so-called land, torture me in front of me, and talk all of things about me, and then when you won't shake their hand, that they know that you're not a Freemason or you're not a Jesuit or whatever. Then they throw their $1 in there and say, keep doing the work that you're doing. And the Bible is clear that a worker is worth his keep. And so all them ones that are making a laughing stock out of me and ripping my heart out every day, because everybody is like, why don't you just build bricks, Michael? The time is coming, and I would hope that you would know upon anything in the world that, as the Bible clearly says, the study of the Tanakh, this is by Festus. This guy is a Goim. This guy is a Roman, Greek king, whatever he was, judge, chief of police, sergeant, lieutenant, whatever, of the army, of fleshly beings. The study of the Bible has made you insane, and then too much learning has gifted you insanity. Well, it's man, and the man was saying that. The man that could release Paul from his punishment of imprisonment or punishment of so-called departing from this world through a torture of some kind. What kind of life is this that a man named Festus can tell you, a man who has basically, he is what? A police, a detective, a judge, some kind of a ruler, a king, or king's right-hand man, can tell you, well, you can live or die today because you're teaching the truth. And you're teaching the people that life is forever. Therefore, we're going to put you in the tomb. It's not a tomb. They don't put you in a tomb. They put you in a box. And then in a concrete thing, if you can afford it or if they want to. 6 foot under the ground, people. You're locked in, it's sealed with tar. The concrete, you have to lift it in with a backhoe. And so if you can get out of these things, then it will be a miracle, Yeshua. But the Bible does not tell you any of that. So all of you that are sitting there doing nothing about your whole family that has been lied to and has been deceived by these so-called Festus, Caiaphas, Roman Greek, Black Pope, Christianity doctrine, wackoness, they've captured, I believe, not only your ruach, the spirit, but also the nephesh, your body. They have possessed it to where you the money you've created, you have to give part of it to them. We're not commanded to do that, people. We're commanded to bring it to the temple, to Israel. Not commanded to pay Roman taxes. Yeshua said, give to Caesar what is Caesar. Why are we even involved in any of this? But you, through lack of knowledge, you're just walking through life like a how do you want to say it? An AI onion. You know the onion, when you cut it open, has rings around it. That's the same thing that every cell tower is doing. Whether it be this way rings or three-dimensional rings. But it's going out into all the world. Like throwing a rock in the calm water on a lake or a pond or a river. It ripples everywhere. That's what they're doing. That is what is controlling the people right now. And you have so many people, my friend, that have defiled their flesh in every way. And yet these people have not a clue. Why? Because all of Christianity is lying to you. Religion is not even... he didn't come to make a new religion, people. He come to gift the one he started back at Mount Sinai. Jebby laws. But, you know, I was going to make short videos and I can't do it because right now, the study has made me a man in the image of Adamah. The first man, we all die, and the second man, we all live. The second Adam. Now, you figure this out, if this is reincarnation or not. That's how it's quoted in the text. Everybody says, blah, blah, blah. Well, Yeshua didn't stay here long. In 33 years, so supposedly, wasn't there. But he left. That tells you something. So I don't want to be in a place where all these wackos around me, including myself, don't know how to love. They speak it. It's not an action word. You know, I just had a lady, I'm not mentioning her name because, oh, probably not a good thing to do. But she's invested in some kind of digital money or whatever, and it's paying out all kinds of stuff. Well, the Woodward TV thing that I got you will show you where Bitcoin started on the dark deep web. And the dark deep web is full of all kinds of illegal, not to do type things. Anyway, that's where it's got to start. So the Bible is clear. You don't take the wages of a prostitute and bring them into the temple. You don't share hands with the wicked. And yeah, oh, it's all this. I got all this money now. Well, I let her know that, you know, if you really serious, they want me to invest. Dude, I have, right now I have under $50 in the bank. $1 in my box and some change, a couple pieces of silver, small chip of gold. And so I said, you know, give me 10% of your, all these things you're trying to get me to do. And I'm going to text her back to say that, and I'll take 10% of that and invest it into your so-called whatever it is that's giving you all this money, or just giving money. And in the long run, you know, I'll give it all back to you if it becomes successful for me also. But there's no help from these people. They just want you to join hands with the wicked. They don't want you to go up to Alaska or wherever and get gold out of the ground, or wherever you might find the gold, to bring the gold into the temple and the silver, not the paper. Moment of silence for sure. So anyway, I'm just telling you, I've been affected by all this, and it just rips my heart out. I too, you know, sometimes know that AI is affecting me, affecting every nerve and muscle in my body, and that one day we're all going to understand that Yeshua's up there waving, saying, "Come on home, children of promise." And yet we're down here trying to spit on one another or mock one another. Look at me, materialistic one another. Using names that don't even exist in the Kadosh Lashon, in the set apart tongue. And proclaiming, you know, anyway, when you learn how to get gold out of the ground, let me know. I'll come and help. Baruch atah Yeruvav Eloheinu HaMelech HaOlam. May Yeruvav bless you. And may Yeshua fill your everlasting hearts with his Shemcha Seshun, his joy and gladness. And the Aleph Dam Sheh B'Shem Shom Sheh, the blood of the Lamb. Amen and amen.